Have you ever wondered what a farm will look like in the future, let's say 25 years from now, in 2050? Welcome to Inside the System, a special edition podcast brought to you by Sistema.bio. In this series, we open the doors to our own conversations, sharing our vision, our challenges, and ideas driving us forward as we work with farmers to improve life on Earth. No filters, no scripts, just real talk from inside the largest carbon farming network. Hi, I'm Xunaxi Cruz. I'm Global Marketing and Communication Director at Sistema.bio, and it's a pleasure to be your host today. I will take you inside the system. In today's episode, we are going to do a little creative exercise, and I'll be talking with three of our leaders who grew up on farms to hear their take on it. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Enrique. Hi, Piyush. How are you?
Hi, Shu. I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
Fine, thank you. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. To begin with, can you tell us what is your name, what is your role at Sistema.bio, and what was your favorite song from the days you were growing up in a farm?
My name is Piyush Sawani. I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Sistema.bio, and my role primarily involves understanding opportunities where Sistema.bio can create an impact through partnerships or through product and innovation.
My name is Lucy Kaburia. I'm the Business Development Manager in Kenya. And my role basically is to source for partners who I can say we have common objectives in terms of meeting our objectives in the aspect of climate change, in the aspect of regenerative agriculture, and in the aspect of making a positive change in the farm.
I am Enrique Reyes Uriarte. I am Technical Manager for Latin America at Sistema.bio. I really enjoy the music. So specifically, when I am in the farm, I really like to remember my childhood. So when I was with my grandfather, one of my favorite songs I think is the Antonio Aguilar, El Hijo Desobediente.
Okay. Can you give us a little snip about like singing, whistling, or humming?
Okay. I think whistle.
Okay.
I could whistle. Um, see, yes, it's like start the song. I really like the. Remember when I was with my two grandfathers. Both of them was cattle ranchers, and I love that.
Yeah, for the audience, Antonio Aguilar is one of the most important singers from the Mexican style. In like the golden movies, like the charro types of style. So it's very famous, right?
Yes, it's true.
Now, going back to when I was growing up, wow, I grew up in the farm at the tip of Mount Kenya, the largest mountain in Kenya. That's where I grew up, and it was very interesting. My favorite song then, at the time when I was growing up in the farm, that was the days when Michael Jackson was the in thing. And that's the time we used to learn breakdancing. When we were in school, we were even learning how to do moves and how to breakdance. And we only knew how to breakdance using Michael Jackson's song. So it was very interesting. But the most interesting one was the Bill Jeans. It's just my love. You know, those kind of moves. That was very interesting at the time when you're growing up. Yeah. And then the other song that was nice because those days when you're growing up in the farm, we used to listen to radios. We didn't have the kind of things that we have now. It was those radio cassettes where you're using batteries and using a cassette which you're turning with a pen if you want to rewind the song.
Yeah, exactly.
So Very interesting times. And that's how we used to do it. And sometimes we didn't even understand the lyrics of the song, but the moves and the dance was just resonating with that at the time.
And about the song, which I remember, I grew up in a central part of India, in a very sort of remote rural village, and I grew up watching Bollywood movies and Bollywood songs. So I'm forgetting the name of the movie, but it's called O Kisna, O Kisna. So it's like, so Kisan in Hindi, Kisan is a farmer. So hey farmer, तुझको क्या डर है रे? So why are you fearing? So that's the that's the song I remember. ओ किसना तुझको क्या डर है रे? Something like that.
Amazing.
So while at the farm, what used to happen, we used to have friends. We used to do farming in a communal setup with your friends. And the most memorable time when it was coffee harvesting. In the Mount Kenya region, coffee harvesting was happening in April. And that is a time in April when it was raining very heavily, very heavy rains, and the berries were so red and nice. And at the same time, it's when we used to have the safari rally in Kenya. So you are juggling between
Wow.
escaping from home to go and watch the safari rally, and you have to harvest coffee because you need, and then milking the cows, because if you don't milk the cows, you don't get the milk in the morning. So those are some of the things I remember at the farm. It was quite interesting. The communal farming, the kind of music you used to have, the enjoyment. Yeah. So it was really interesting. And
Okay, just you mentioned that you grew up in central India. Can you tell us a little bit more about how was growing up in a farm? Who in your family was working there? What type of equipment, technology did you have? And what was the best part of your day back then?
Family, my ancestral family, come from farming background, and my grandfather was very involved in the agriculture. So I used to go to farm with him. So as a child, I would go with my grandfather, and he'll take me to different aspect of the farm, and he'll show me different things. And yeah, we will grow. I mean, we used to grow cotton, soybean, traditional crops, not so much of vegetables, but mainly traditional crops. And the reason that was because there was not it was rain-fed agriculture. So it because there was little rain, so you could only grow the crops which can survive in relatively less water environment. So yeah, that's what I remember about growing up in the farm.
In the both sides of my family, from my mother and my father, my grandfathers had a was a, I say said was a cattle ranchers in different type of productions in Oaxaca. From my mother, I usually riding horses with my cousins. I really love that memories. In the opposite side, in Puebla, with my for the side of my father, usually we move in bicycles with my cousins into the lands of properties of my grandfather.
Thank you for sharing that part of your life with us briefly, because I'm sure you have tons and tons of stories. Okay, so we are gonna move in, and we're gonna do a little game together. This is about like I'm gonna tell you a sentence, and then you will complete the sentence with the first thing that comes to your mind. And afterwards, you can explain us a little bit why that idea came to you. It's okay? Sounds good?
Yes.
The first one is the most important resource for growing crops on a farm in 2015 will be.
Water. I believe water is very scarce resource, and we have to conserve it. We have to protect it so that the agriculture continues.
Mm, I think in 2050 we have to be conscious in the use of that.
Okay, like water and the quality of the soil, you mean?
Yes. I think the traditional use of that resources maybe is not the best use. The use of the water maybe you don't use like in the better way. No, the agricultural activities waste a lot of water, and I think the traditional growing crops in that way we waste that we have to move like small farmers we have to move be um, efficient in the use of that no.
Second, beyond the crop's yield, the key measure of a farmer's success in 2050 will be.
Money in the pocket.
Mhm.
Yes. Now, uh, beyond crop yields, when farmers are growing their crops, what I believe right now is happening in the year 2050, 25 years from now, farming will be viewed very differently from the way it will be
Mm.
viewed, not just for feeding within the family, but also as a source of income, as a source of resources. And I trust and believe that we'll have more people going to what we can call agripreneur. This is where you are an
Mm.
entrepreneur, but in the agriculture sector. So I trust and believe that farmers will look at it in the year 2050, not just for the basic needs, but also for purposes of looking at agriculture like it is work, like it's a job, like it's something that can be able to sustain you in terms of even on your career. So I'm very sure we'll have careers in agriculture.
By 2050, the smartest and most profitable investment for farmers will be.
I would say climate smart agriculture technologies. So anything related to which helps the farm adopt to the changing climate and changing environment, be it biogas or be it technologies which conserve water, or technologies which helps you maybe prevent the very high heat from the sun. So yeah, climate smart agriculture technologies.
Apart from biogas, is there anything that you can see at this moment that would be like an important one?
I'd say solar water pump needs to be sort of compulsory or mandatory for the farms. It can help farmers save on the cost, and it's beneficial for the environment. Um, and a lot of drone technologies will come, which will save a cost of labor at the farm, and they will be much more efficient in applying the right sort of inputs, for example.
Okay, so next one is the most significant benefit of using biogas on future farms will be.
Mm, the most significant biogas. Generate fuel to power machinery. I
Mhm.
think the most significant benefit for that. I think for 2050, the technology will be better for the small farmers. No, right now is available for big farmers. So I think that technology will be available for small farmers to use in tractors, in small machinery, or even in the case of for thermal use for for the milk to have hot water for wash all the things that we use into the farm, and I think it It will
Yeah.
be.
So, for example, nowadays, Sistema.bio, we provide with equipment, for example, for thermal use of the energy, like with industrial burners, and also like adaptations to engines. But and also we have some types of electrical generators. But you mean, if I'm understand correctly, like you mean like in the future we could imagine a farm like run 100% with biogas, and your tractor is fueled with biogas instead of gasoline, or probably all the electricity in your farm is sourced by the biogas. Is that what you have in mind?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. I think if you have the primary resource, you can have a lot of benefits if you have the proper technology.
Um, have you seen this tendency happening in India already, or in any other part of Asia?
Yeah, more and more farmers are adopting new technologies which are improving the farm sustainability, I would say. I want to give an example of Sistema.bio. So we provide biogas technology, and in India alone, more than 100,000 farmers have adopted biogas technologies for their farms. And the bioslurry which comes from the biogas plant is used by the farmers to reduce some of the chemical fertilizer. A lot of adoption of solar water pumping is happening in India. Drones are still relatively new in early stages, but yes, the technology adoption is happening at a much faster rate.
And I want to speak from the perspective of being someone who has been out in the field. For the 3 years I've been with Sistema, I've interacted with a lot of women and a lot of farmers. And one of the things, for me, one of the things that gives me a lot of joy is when I hear a woman saying that my back will not break anymore because I have to go and carry
Hmm.
firewood. I will hear a woman saying that I was feeling like I'm a smoker, my chest is congested. But that is
Hmm.
not happening anymore. Sometimes I come home, it's raining, and I have to go and collect firewood. That will not happen anymore. So for me, I think the most important thing is the health perspective of the women, because in the Kenyan, in the African setting, it's the business of the woman to ensure that food is put on the table. No man will go to look for firewood or for cooking. So for me, I think health benefits are great. Time, it will create a lot of time for the people in the family. And as I was sharing, when you were growing up, you go to school, but when you come from school or when you come from the shamba, apart from just walking home, you're tired, you've been working in the shamba, you still have to go home with the firewood. So you can
Hmm.
imagine with the use of biogas, that is not there anymore. You can imagine the time that the ladies will have in their hands. They can do it to do other things, to generate other income, the health benefits that comes with it, no coughing, no respiratory diseases, and then the savings also, the savings in terms of doing that, and clean kitchens. If you look at most of the kitchens of people who are not using biogas or who are not using renewable energy, they are literally black. You can see soot dropping from the roof.
Hmm.
So I think also that aspect of cleanness. So I think biogas has great benefits, and I can't wait to see more people and more women adopting it in the Kenyan perspective. That will be my joy. Yeah.
Thank you, Lucy, for this small game. We are gonna now go into the next section. And for this section, we ask some of our Sistema.bio team members in the different regions at Sistema.bio to send their questions to you. And we pick one. All of these questions were about the future of farming and the future of Sistema.bio. The one that we pick for you comes from Donald Alukoni in Kenya, in our Kenya team. And he's asking you, how do you see smart agriculture shaping daily life on farms in 2050? what technologies do you think will make truly change or a difference for smallholder farmers? Yeah, what can you tell us?
Yeah, I'm thinking in 2050, thinking about smart agriculture. I think that the greenhouse polyhouses, they will become much more prevalent because they will be better able to control the environment under which the farming will be done, and they also use a lot of energy for either say water pumping or for maintaining the like conditions of the greenhouse, for example. So solar and renewable energy very will play a very crucial role. So yeah, this one I see.
Yeah, at Sistema.bio, we've been working a lot on the MRB. As you know, like what can you envision? Like currently, we have like smart meters for measuring the biogas flow, thermal sensors. But what can you see in terms of soil that can be in big help for farmers in the future?
Yeah, one of the recent trend that I'm seeing, and there are a lot of innovations happening, is satellite imaging. So satellites are playing a very important role in understanding the soil health. They can actually measure soil organic carbon through the refractory indexes, and not only on the soil carbon, but I would say satellite imaging would also be able to provide real time sort of health of the crops, and you can see if the for example the color of the leaves or different things, the satellites will be able to capture, and it can give sort of a real time insights to the farmers, what for example which area of the land they need to give more emphasis to, where there is water scarcity, there is water stress, or there is a need for example, special type of inputs. So DMRV for soil.
So the question that came from you comes from Shreya in the India team, and she's asking you. You've been visited hundreds of farms, I think, for more than 10 years now, and seen smallholder farmers very close. From that experience, what role do you think smallholder farmers will play in food security by 2050?
Great question. Mm, I think leading the food security. Why? As I said before, right now in Mexico and Latin America, the small farmers produce, as it's 60, maybe 70% of the total food that we consume. And I think that role will continue to 2050, because the small farmer are training right now, acquiring knowledge, and I think the certain technologies that in that moment were so far from to acquire by a small farmer, right now is available, and it is very exciting because the small farmer too is conscious for how they produce their food, how they could be better into the same small farm, no? Be more competitive in the market.
Yeah, and also I think you were telling me the other day, like farmers are even more conscious about the quality of the food, no, like the nutritious value of the food that they produce, even if it's like a veggie or like a crop, because they are seeing the whole process from the beginning, right?
Exactly. In many cases, I see that the market is close to the small farmer, reducing the intermediate, No, the market is looking for the small farmer, and the market or the final customer wanna know what is the process for the small farmer, and the final customer want to support that. No, want to support that production. No, because it's natural, is traditional, and I think could be competitive. No?
We're coming to the end. It was brief, but it was very enriched to hear you. But before we wrap up, I have one final question, and it's a personal one. So, what is your happiest farm memory? The very first moment the memory that comes to your mind, that one that really stays with you, like that moment that you trigger when you want to feel this coziness or happiness. Yeah. Okay. What can you tell us?
The mornings. I really love the mornings. That's the reason because in my home I have some trees because I really love in the mornings the birds. No, when the birds are singing, when the sun is come, I really love that. When I was a child, I remember when I was child with my grandpas, with my mother, and today I think is one of the most favorite part of the day.
Yeah. And I guess also, like the place where you come from, you have an amazing view, right? Like you have the two most important volcanoes of Mexico almost there.
Yes. When it's sun rising, you can see the two volcanoes. The first parts of the sun touching the faces of the mountains. I really love that view.
Amazing. Okay, thank you, Enrique, for sharing with us all these stories. It's very touching and very nice to see how Sistema.bio members not only live, but they are part of the farming network. What is the very first thing that comes to your mind when you think on those days when you were a child, and that sticks with you in difficult moments, or probably not, but just to make you feel joy?
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to my mind was whenever I used to go to farm, what I used to look forward to was things that I could eat. So, which is there were like special berry trees. They're like you can just pick berries and you can eat. They're like sour and sweet berries. So those ones are there are like while going there will be some farms where you can see a guava farm or you can see a papaya farm or a farm where there are corn is grown, and because it's village in our village, very small community, everybody knew each other, and then obviously when you're going and you can always okay now I want to eat like this fruit today and I can eat that fruit tomorrow. So that I mean that's the happiest memory of like ability to like eat fresh things at the farm and being a kid. That's the thing that I used to look forward to. So very happy memories.
Yeah, totally agree. Those flavors that remain in your brain. Amazing. Thank you, Piyush. It was a pleasure to talk to you and to learn a little bit more about you in the farm, but also in this personal side. So thank you for sharing these thoughts with us. Okay, so conversations like this remind us that why being farmer centric is not just like a value, it's our guiding compass. And thank you everyone who is listening. Thank you for joining us in Inside the System. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you, Shashi.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Karibu.